Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance, and this is an M44, the Tier 6 American SPG, and it's been commanded by Robbie 2009, and we've seen him in replays before, or a replay before, and in this particular battle, he's on a platoon with TerminatorrPL in the KV-2, and we can see the KV-2 alongside him, and we're on the southwest, or yes, this is the southwest spawn of Halluf. Now, it appears that Terminator is headed off towards the main heavy area, whilst Robbie is backing towards this rock to use it as his firing position. Little known M44 fact, I know all of you, or most of you, are fans of the M44, but did you realise that the last time that this weapon was actually used in anger was as recently as 2015? Yes, they were actually used against ISIS from across the Turkish border. And they're still in use by the Turkish military forces. But they've been upgraded. They've now got Rheinmetall guns, which make them able to fire much further. Now, Robbie's just centered his arc, or rather he's organised his arc so he can actually cover a very wide area of the battle, and that's a very smart move because you want to have the ability to hit as many objects as you can, because this is an encounter battle. Okay, there's a couple of targets, but they're in defilade on that rock face. He can't hit the T-34 or the 103 at the moment because they're in cover, but he can put a shell in there which would actually stun them, but he's lost sight of them there. Oh, now that KV-1, he can just reach it from where he is. Round out. I think it's going to go long. Yeah, it did. Now, the reason I thought it was going to go long, because he was actually aiming over the top of the rock face. It was a narrow gap. Now, he would have been able to hit that Marder 38T right in the rear if he'd actually held on to the shell there. But he can certainly hit that T-34, or Type T-34, the Chinese version. Round out. And that definitely would have splashed him. And yes, it did. It stunned him for 139. He got some stun assist there. Right, now, where's the enemy? Ah, the IKV and the T-34 have moved up. But now he can put the shells into them directly. He's going for the IKV first. Round out. Right into the side and set fire to him. But he had an automatic fire extinguisher which went off the moment the fire appeared. So he didn't get much in the way of fire damage, only 28 hit points from that. But that means that the IKV will have his fire extinguisher on cooldown. And there's the KV-1. Okay, he's come around the corner, lines up the shot, rounds out. Oh, is it going to fall behind? No, direct hit, 171 hit points, 2 critical hits, and there's the IKV. And he's a one-shot for anybody. In fact, you could splash him now, or you can nudge him to death. Our small RAM. There's a looks. Tier 4 light. Ooh, it's starting to move though. I think he's using the... Is he using the 5cm howitzer? And that was a splash on the KV-1 right in front of him. You can see where Robbie's previous shot actually hit right on the driver's set area. So I suspect he actually took out his driver. Okay. OI. Big, slow and dumb. But he stunned him. It shot, overshot, landed behind the OI. Okay, he's lining up for another shot. Fortunately, we've lost sight of the OI temporarily. But that 103 is about to get his comeuppance, I think. If Robbie can loop a shot over, he can take him out. He's lining up. Oh, no, he's decided he's going to go for the OI, who's just taken a shot from Terminator, Robbie's platoon mate. Round out. Direct hit into the OI. He got 69 hit points there, but he stunned him, and that's making the OI pull back. And that's giving Terminator time to reload. Okay, there's the KV-1 he was firing at earlier. But... Or is that another KV-1? I think it's another KV-1 actually, because that one's full health. Right, there's the OI. He doesn't want to come around the corner because he knows he's going to get an Arty shell in his face if he tries. So he's waiting for somebody else to bait the shell. That's what he's trying to do. Robbie's marking where he's aiming which is telling Terminator, this is what I'm protecting you from. Now, if the shell goes as... if he doesn't get good RNG or a good roll, the shell could hit that rock face to the side of the KV-2. Robbie's just going to have a quick look over there. Could have actually done better by holding down his right hand mouse button to actually look over at the T-34. Now, he stunned the T-34. But all the enemy tanks are lining up. Oh, and the OI's gone down to Terminator. That's good. But the others are all now encouraged to come around the corner. Can he get rounds out? Oh! 2! He managed to get 2 at once. He got the Type T-34 and the KV-1 with 1 shot. Whilst his teammate... or was it? No, it's the Sturmpanzer 2 took out the IKV. And... Terminator has just derped the Su-100 and Robbie's just fired in as well and stunned him. Wow, so he's picked up a Bombardier from killing the T-34 and the KV-1. And somebody's capping. Right, now he's still reloading. He's reloaded. He's ready to go. I think he wants to get a shot on that KV-1. Full health. But he's just hiding behind that corner. Meanwhile, the Su-100 is trying to go after the Panzer 38NA. And there's somebody the other side of that rock. I think the better targets would be the Su-100 at this moment. Oh, just lost the Panzer 38NA. Yeah, this is going to end up rather inconvenient. He has got some teammates. The Terminator's still in play. There's the KV-1. No, he's carefully using the rock face for cover. Terminator's moving up, fires a round into stun, and he lands it nearby and stuns the KV-1 just at the right moment, just as Terminator moves up, and the enemy loses the Su-100 as well to the T-67. Now he's almost reloaded, rounds out again on the KV-1. It lands long but splashes him, 23. And Terminator ends his game for 163 hit points. He got the stun assist. Oh, careful! Oh, whenever you park behind a rock, don't drive over it. That would have been awful, having an M44 on his side back in the cap area. But they've got the advantage in terms of they've actually taken out most of the enemy heavies, or all of the enemy heavies now, and now they're equal scores. But the enemy's capping with 2 now. No, capping with 1 now. The T-34 has just been taken out by the Dickomax. Now they've got an advantage in numbers as well. And of course, they've still got Terminator with the KV-2 derp gun. Now, Robbie thinks that the enemy Arty is up in this corner. It's another M44. But he can see the Hetzer in the cap. And he can see that Valentine. And he can splash them to take away all their cap points. Rounds out. Directed! He takes out the Hetzer and he stuns the and damages the Valentine at the same time, so he completely resets the cap. And in fact, both enemies have now been destroyed and taken out. And that means they are now capping. And the enemy's just left with the 2 Artys they've got. And, well, 1 Arty, because that's the Birch gun gone. He was just taken out by the Dickomax. So it's just the enemy M44, and we're not sure where he is. But Robbie's having a quick look near the village. There are so many places that an M44 can play from, because it can shoot over the entire range of the battlefield. No tracer up that end. The thing is that the enemy doesn't or cannot see anything at the moment. Of course, he's got a very short view range, 320 meters. So he's not really going to be able to see anybody on Robbie's team until they get fairly close. T-67's going up for a look. He's sneaking around the corner because there's a possibility the M44 could be in the village. And the M44 is very good at shotgunning. I know, I've done it enough myself in the M44. And there he is! And he's killed by the Dickomax. Very accurate TD. And that's the game over. They've won. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And it's a third class tanker for Robbie 2009 in the M44. He also picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 14 in that battle. And he picked up a Brothers in Arms because Terminator and him both managed to get at least 3 kills during the battle. And on top of which, he got a Bombardier because, of course, he took out the Type T-34 and the KV-1 on that corner. And, of course, that lovely hit on the Hetzer in the cap, which reset both tanks simultaneously and took the Hetzer out completely. So that was a beautiful shot. Let's have a look at the team scores. Well, he didn't get the highest on damage. That actually went to Terminator, who managed to get 2,216 hit points. And in fact, there is actually a replay uploaded by Terminator, and I probably will do that next as the next battle. Robbie managed to get third place with 977 hit points. And when it came to kills, he also got third place with 3. The Dicker Max managed to get 5 kills, but not as much damage. And of course, he took out the enemy M44 with his final shot. And when it came to base XP, well, Terminator managed to dig that one as well with 1,314 experience points, base experience. And unfortunately, Robbie was relegated to second place on that one with 734. But I'm sure he won't mind that because it was a victory and it was a Brothers in Arms. On the detailed report, well, he fired 13 rounds, got 4 direct hits, 4 penetration and 10 splash. Did damage of 977 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. He did receive 1 hit and 1 non-penetration, unfortunately. But he did manage to damage 7 of the enemy and kill 3 of them. He also did 816 hit points of stun assistance off 11 stuns. And he stopped 18 capture points by the enemy, or rather it should be 18 defense points, by resetting the Hetzer and the Valentine in the cap. On a standard account, he earned 21,245 credits, and after ammunition resupply and consumables, he had 9,680 credits spare. He received 734 base XP, but it was ×2 for the first victory of the day, and he got an extra 22 experience points for being in a platoon at the start of the battle, and so he walked away with 1,490 experience points in total. So very well done there. You actually supported Terminator as he was ploughing his way through the enemies with that big derp gun up near Heavy's corner, and that was a pretty good battle. So if you enjoyed this battle, this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay I'll be featuring in the next video, or maybe it'll be Terminator's video that I'm actually watching next, because yes, there is Terminator's video and this one is definitely going to be worth watching. So we'll run this one right away, and then obviously you'll be able to enjoy it. It's going to make this a longer video than normal, but why not? It sounds like a bit of fun. You get to see the battle from both angles. We've just got to wait for it to load. And there we go. We've got the same view we had before, but from a different angle. Boy, does this look weird. And just got to wait for the countdown to commit. Okay, we're off. And this time we're following Terminator, whilst Robbie disappears into the background in his M44. Terminator's off to the heavy area with his big 152mm derp gun. Bye bye Robbie, we'll see you later. Now, I don't normally give commentary on heavy tanks or any tank battle, of course, unless it's one of my own, because then obviously I like to share exactly what I was thinking at the time during the battle. But this one seems too good to miss, because after all that is a KV-2, which is horizontal artillery. And of course we've just seen how Robbie did as part of the platoon, and Terminator did just as well. Ooh, we're getting a little push there, a little bit of help from the KV-1. Now we can see that Robbie's indicating his target, and we know at that time he was actually looking at the tanks that were hiding behind the rock, and then he changed his aim to the KV-1 and fired at that, but unfortunately he missed it. So now there's the Marder that Robbie didn't get the opportunity to shoot into. But there's the KV-1 coming up. Terminator's pre-aimed. And you can see Robbie is indicating that's where he's aiming. And the KV-1's trying to side scrape. He's been seen. And it's actually, he's being seen to the left. That's it, now he's paying attention. That was a shot from the looks. And it does look as if the looks is actually using the 5cm cannon rather than the 3cm one, or the 5cm gun, I should say, rather than the 3cm. And look, there's the OI. But unfortunately, I think Terminator did the right thing there. Hold on to your gun, hold on to your shell, and wait until you got a clear target. And as that OI was pulling back, and he gets a lovely derp into him. 371 hit points. But the OI is taking the opportunity to cross the gap. And the unfortunate thing is it's a long reload on the KV-1. Oh, and he fires in, and he ammo racks the Marder 38T. Collects the entire health of that tank destroyer. Almost reloaded. Now the OI has come down, as we know that Robbie fired at him, managed to get a hit. Yes, he's stunned now. Now this time in the battle, if you remember correctly, Terminator was holding off against the OI, who was just around the corner. And the OI did poke around the corner and then got hit by one of Robbie's shells. Here we go. He knows he's there and he tracks him. 357 hit points of damage. And there's Robbie's shell coming in, 69. And the Type T-34 tries to come around the corner. Now, what Terminator's doing here is angling, not only to increase the thickness of his armour, but also to hide his lower plate and his weak points. But he can't shoot at that KV-1 because he moved into cover quick enough. But he also needs to hold on to the shell for the OI, because if that OI is stuck there, he can't pull out. If he tries to pull around the corner, he's going to get derped. And he's low enough health now that he would die from that derp. So that KV-1 is sitting there behind that rock face. He's holding Terminator from moving forward, but the OI is a good target to hit because he can terminate him very quickly. After all, his name is Terminator. Come on, poke your ear out and let us put a shot into it. Right, the OI's fired. He's in reload. Come around the corner and derp you. That's it. 153 hit points. The KV-1 comes round and hits him in the tracks. And the Type T-34 comes round and the 103 and the KV-1. And they all go together. And two of them from Robbie. And there's the Su-100 and he's pulling back after firing. But now he's in a bit of a quandary, because if he does... Oh, he gets a big derp into him. 294 hit points from that shot. Lovely. And Robbie stunned the Su-100. And the Su-100 wants nothing more of that. He's getting out before before Terminator reloads. But that KV-1's not. He's staying there behind his rock. Now we know at this point that the Su-100 is going around the corner to try and kill the Panzer 38NA. Okay, the Panzer 38NA has gone down, unfortunately. But if you recall, the Su-100 makes a silly move at this point. What he does, he tries to come round behind Terminator, and in doing so, he exposes himself to the Dicamax. There, the KV-1's moving up, and that's a bad move as well, because he's about to get derped, and he does! And 391 hit points, and he picks up some stun assist from the Robbie's shells, and the Su-100 has gone down. Well, it's actually, sorry, it's the T-67 who took care of the Su-100 because he was on the corner. And Terminator derps and kills the KV-1. 163, that's very nice. A win rate of 5545 so far. The T-67 moves up. Very nice of him for protecting Terminator's rear. Oh, and there's the M3 Lee. Oh, how sweet. He's come forward, and Terminator's taking careful aim at the cupola. And it's a kill shot. 310 hit points. That's a one-shot kill for the 152mm howitzer. Oh, and that's the enemy M44. That's a sort of like, yes, I'm here. It's a good job that didn't hit directly, because that could have been quite nasty. But it looks to me like Terminator's just going to try and see if he can derp that howitzer. But if you remember, this is the moment that Robbie came into play. And, oh, big shot comes in there from the M44. And the Hetzer comes around the corner to deal with Terminator, but gets terminated himself by Robbie. And the Valentine goes down to the Dicamax. Oh, and there's the Birch gun. Lining him up. Oh, long time for the aim, but he fires. And, oh, he gets 190 for damage on spotting. I don't think his shell hit the Birch gun. No, it didn't. It didn't go anywhere near. Stalin did not guide that shell to the target. But looks like the Dicamax is headed up onto the rock to get a better visual. And the T-67's was coming down. Or is he going across? No, he's going hunting. He's going to have a quick look for the M44 in the village. But in the meantime, Terminator, because he's only got 97 hit points left, and of course that would be an easy splash kill for the M44. He's going to hide behind that rock face, and he's not hiding in the conventional position, which would be just a little further back around. He's actually being unconventional and moving a bit further forward, and that's the right thing to do. Either that or to actually hide in the bushes behind the camp structure, or even in the dip. There's the enemy M44, and the Dicamax terminates him, and they win the game. Okay, let's have a look at the end of battle stats for this one. Well, it was an ace tanker for TerminatorrPL in the KV-2. He also picked up a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 13 in that one. And he picked up the Hand of God because he was damaged by 4 enemy vehicles. And he managed to survive and win the battle. And a demolition expert because he managed to make the ammunition rack of that Marder 38T explode and took the entire tank out with one shot. He got a fighter badge because he managed to get at least 4 kills. He got the fire for effect because he did more damage than the hit points of his vehicle. And he got the shell proof because the amount of damage that he blocked exceeded the hit points of his own vehicle. He got a Brothers in Arms with Robbie because they managed to kill at least 3 tanks each. In fact, Robbie got 3 kills and Terminator got 4. And he got a Steel Wolf because he managed to block at least potential damage of 1,000 hit points and survive the battle. But best of all, he got the high caliber. He dealt more damage than anyone else on his team, at least 20% of the enemy hit points. So great battle there. If you look at the team scores again, yes, we can see that Terminator came top with 2,216 hit points. He came second when it came to kills with 4, beaten by the Dickomax. And when it came to base XP, yes, he was top with 1,314. He fired only 10 rounds, got 8 direct hits, 8 penetration and 1 splash. Did damage of 2,216 hit points. I think all of it was closer than 300 meters. In fact, actually, the one shot that he missed was the shot on the Birch gun, which wasn't fully dialed in. Would you believe it? He received 16 hits, 5 were penetrations, 11 were non-penetrations, and he got 2 hits as a result of splash damage, both from the M44. He blocked 1,726 hit points of damage. He spotted 6 enemy vehicles, he damaged 5 enemy vehicles and killed 4 of them, and did damage assistance of 773 hit points. And he managed to get 30 cap points whilst he was in the cap. On a standard account, he earned 30,677 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, he still had 17,958 credits spare. He earned 1,314 base XP, and there was an extra 39 XP for playing in a platoon, but because this was not the first victory of the day, that's all. He took away 1,353 experience points in total. But together with Robbie, they did a very nice victory, so well done, you should be congratulated. And I'm sure Robbie is very happy because that was his first Bombardier. First Bombardier taking out Type T-34 and KV-1 with 1 shot. So well done the pair of you. If you enjoyed this replay, please give us a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay I'll be featuring in our next video.